fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off, quite a lot of things have happened. The Midoriya family, they faced off against this evil Saiyan. He awakened some sort of strange ability, and his power level shot through the roof to the point of being within the higher 900,000s to 1 millions. Now, along with that, you also do have Hasashi, who was fighting intensely along with Izuku and Inko. Now, they were able to eventually bring down the Saiyan threat, his power disappearing within the fight. Now, along with that, the elite Saiyans from planet Sadala took this man in after he was taken down. And the Earth's Defense Force, they began to study the data they collected from this battle. Since, in the weeks that will be following on Earth, the people who took down the Saiyan will be identified as pro-heroes, who have not been seen in quite a long time. Now, that being said, they will also find that this kid who took down the villain was their son, Izuku Midoriya. Now, while that is happening on Earth, we will cut to the next day with Midoriya. Midoriya is currently in his room, and he is floating through the air with a pen and his notebook, or at least a pencil. Now, as he is floating through the air, he is actually just writing down different things he knows. Before Vados does walk in. Izuku. Yes, Vados? So he has gotten better at that. What are you currently doing right now? Oh, I'm just writing down what happened yesterday. It's quite strange. What is? You said yesterday that I was still moving after I passed out, or my memory stops. Yes, you were. It seems like Ultra Instinct works differently for mortals. Yeah, about that, I did have a question. Can you move around whenever you're asleep? I don't know. I don't believe I've ever tried to fall asleep. Even then, I don't think anyone can actually answer that. Okay, anyways. Along with that, the Saiyans. Didn't Mom told me the other day that they wanted to have us at the planet and talk to them all? Yes. Alrighty. Actually, there has been a small change of plans. What do you mean? Well, your mother, she was actually hoping to find a way to help Earth. And I've informed her of a little something that she might want to find. Okay. What is it? Well, it is called a Dragon Ball. Oh, a Dragon Ball? What is that? Well, you simply need to do one thing. You find 7 of them, and you bring them all together. Once you do, you can get a wish granted from a dragon. Uh, really? A wish? Why, yes. And as far as I know, you can wish for anything. Really? That's kind of insane. Oh, no, it's not that advanced. There are limitations, but the dragon, as long as your wish isn't too complicated, I believe that he can fulfill it. Midoriya kind of confused. Okay, so that's what his mom is doing. What about my dad? Oh, yes. Your father is still asleep. It appears King Kai's warning wasn't really something to take lightly. Huh. Yes, your father's been sleeping for almost 16 hours now. So I believe that he will be fine and eventually he will wake up. If he does not, well, we can just wake him up ourselves. Now, after that is said, Midoriya, he is informed of what he's going to do. Vados giving Midoriya a change of clothes that he will need to wear, along with him and her leaving for planet Sadala. Now, Midoriya did set his notebook back down on his bed. It basically being about the strange symbol he keeps seeing. The infinite symbol. Even then, it also does describe planet Vampa and, well, Earth, along with Beerus' planet. Now, Midoriya was given a particular set of clothing, not what he standardly uses for training. He was given this particular outfit. Now, Midoriya does keep on his shoes, and the fur that he does always keep tied to his arm. The only thing he really would be wearing of this outfit would be the pants and this particular ring, or I'm not too sure if you can classify that as a shirt, but he would be wearing that. And I would want to say that Vados would have had him wear the wristbands and these things that do cover his arms. But other than that, he would still just be wearing his shoes. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he's still kind of confused about all this, as they do land on planet Sadala. Now, as soon as they arrive, they are immediately bombarded and basically surrounded by Saiyans, all of whom immediately take up battle stances. Vados, she basically plopped them right in front of the palace. Many different Saiyans immediately going to attack. Now, as soon as some of these Saiyans did do that, Midoriya, he was kind of caught off guard. Vados immediately just flipping her staff upwards and being able to immediately blast a Ki Blast, or the Ki... well, yeah, Ki Blast is the right way to say it, up into the air, or simply just dispersing them immediately. Now, as soon as that does happen, you do have somebody from the Elite Force run out and see what is going on, finding that the young boy is here. Ah, yes, you. Him saying human. This is a human? Both of them are humans? That can't be right. It doesn't make any sense. We've heard that they're weak. But that one with the blue skin, is she a human too? No, I don't think so. But look at that boy. Why do I feel like I've seen that outfit somewhere before? Yeah, I think I've heard a story about that thing. Now, Midoriya, with the help of the elite, he is brought before the king. Now, the king is very busy, and he is actually ordering some of his men around. Him on a computer, actually talking to somebody high within a command unit, telling them about how they must make sure that they can protect this planet and this planet from the pirates. And then you do have this planet over here, which is a part of this force. And then you also do have him basically trying to sort out which planets they're protecting and who they're protecting them from. A whole lot of work. Now, the king, after doing that, he actually does turn off the computer and go over and sit down on the throne. That was quite annoying. Are you alright, father? Why, yes. I believe I'll be quite alright. It was just... so many things are going on lately. I feel like their forces are just getting bigger and bigger every day. It'll be quite alright, dear, the queen says, before the doors to the throne room are thrown open. Midoriya looking around, amazed. This place is huge. Plus there's so much technology in here. Now, the king is kind of confused as to why this blue-haired woman is here. Before Midoriya, after they do step up to meet the king, he steps out from behind her. As soon as the king does see those robes, he immediately throws himself to the floor, his crown falling off and rolling towards Midoriya's feet. Now, all of the Saiyans who are in this room are all confused, along with the queen and the princess. Before he immediately orders his wife and his daughter to kneel. Midoriya bringing up his hand, and the man flinching before at least letting out a cry of fear. Now, Midoriya tells him that is really unnecessary. Huh? Before Midoriya does bend down and pick up the crown, walking over and handing it to the man. Sir, I don't know exactly why are you so afraid, but you're the god of destruction. What? No, I'm not. Wait, but him bringing his hand up and putting his hand on the robe, saying this symbol. Midoriya looking down at the man, who is at least saying that these symbols, as he's pointing at Midoriya's chest, are the ones that the god of destruction has. He wears this exact clothing. Does he now? Midoriya turning back around at Vados. Miss Vados? Why did you make me dress like him? Well, Midoriya, you are the next god of destruction in training. The king of the Saiyans, surprised to hear that. Before he does actually just jump up to his feet, his daughter and the queen, along with every Saiyan in the room. You're the one next in line. I guess so. But you're just a boy. One of the elites stepping up and informing the king that man is no mere child. That human, he had power that far exceeded the Saiyan. Not just that, but the power readings they got. Him handing over what appears to be a tablet. The king looking down as his eyes do basically flinch, or at least show signs of surprise. The Saiyan's power level spiked to 1 million. It's a very good thing they already executed him. Otherwise he could have actually caused a whole lot of damage here. Then there is Midoriya's power level. The king thinking that Midoriya's power level is the one that was around 750,000. And then there was the next lowest one, which was around 400,000. Now, the king just begins to ask why exactly Midoriya is here. Vados going to state that the young boy should actually begin to learn more about their culture. In fact, she herself was actually quite curious, especially since the Saiyans, they did show up on this boy's planet. Even their troublemaker, last year, arrived, leaving this boy's planet in a little bit of ruins. Hmm. I see. Well, I hope this doesn't damage our relationship with you. Hmm? No, it doesn't. Hit the king surprised. The boy's not angry. How many of his people died? How many of his people were slaughtered? And he's just so mundane about it? This boy really is the god of destruction and training, isn't he? Powerful and merciless, not even caring for a life. The king, unaware of the Dragon Balls. Now, Vados does state to the king that the boy should learn a bit more about the Saiyan culture, and in fact, he's going to help them out. Hmm? Uh, excuse me, Vados? Why, yes. The Saiyans are dealing with a current threat, more Saiyans. In fact, the king in front of you, he is one of two, trying to fight for the throne, in the way that the Saiyans should be. Huh? Why, yes, it's sort of true. You see, sometime within the past, there was a bit of a difference, or I guess you could say. Certain Saiyans, we began to be born, and we began to lack a genetic trait. In fact, him inspecting Midoriya. The boy doesn't seem to have a tail. Hmm. So he is almost exactly like them. That's kind of odd. Okay, so I believe I can go further. We had a tail, apparently. However, sometime within our past, many of us began to be born without them, and we began to get stronger. It was not uncommon to be born with a tail, however. Many of us also began to have differences. That was whenever the war started. Many of us wanted to be peaceful. However, there's still that warrior instinct. So we tried to come up with a solution. It did not work out. Now, the king continues on with his explanation. Basically, there are two different types of Saiyans, those with tails and those without them. Those who lack the genetic trait do at least still keep the Zenkai boost that their species does obtain from a battle. Midoriya kind of surprised hearing about that. Before, he does at least get a tour around certain places and certain areas of the castle, before being sat down for lunch. Now, Midoriya is eating and actually beginning to stuff his mouth full of food. This stuff is actually pretty weird, but it does at least taste a little good. Before the princess does actually ask Midoriya a question. So, are you really the god of destruction in training? Midoriya, choking on his food for a second. Um, well, kinda. I guess I'm supposed to learn about good and evil and stuff like that. Hmm. Okay, but are you gonna destroy your planet? The king choking on his wine. Before he badmouths his daughter for asking him that question. No, I'm not going to, but I am curious about this idea of a Zenkai boost. Now, more and more conversations later, Midoriya, he is, at least, walking around outside the palace. And he decides that since he can't find Vados, he does actually want to train. Finding a very strong power level and going towards that direction. Now, a lot of these higher power levels are clustered together. Some of the elites are training and fighting against each other. Now, Midoriya, whenever he does actually land and see this, a lot of the elites do look in his direction. And one of them actually does challenge this young boy to a bit of a fight, wanting to see exactly how strong he is. And you do have the two in the ring. Now, as for the Saiyan princess, she actually did begin to follow Midoriya. Sure, her father does not want her to sneak out of the castle, but she can still fly. Plus, she does at least have a pretty good power level of 5,000. So, even if she does get into trouble, she can take care of herself with a natural life on this planet. Even then, it should be no big deal. Now, she actually does watch from a distance the current fight that is about to happen. You do have Midoriya, a scrawny little boy that does at least appear to have a little bit of muscle on him. And then you do have a Saiyan, a big, burly man, 4 times Midoriya's size. Now, Midoriya actually does sense the man's power level. It's close to his. So, let's begin. Now, as soon as they do begin, the man immediately tries to rush towards Midoriya, who turns on Kaioken, immediately being able to catch the man's fist, as the man is shocked. That's not possible. Your power doubled. Why, of course it did. The man going to fight back against Midoriya. Midoriya increasing his power level by another Kaioken, bringing himself up to around, well, let's see, almost 70,000. And completely outranking the man in speed and strength. Now, after Midoriya does at least dodge around and try and see where the man does stand, it doesn't really work out for him. Midoriya dropping out of Kaioken and turning on Ultra Instinct for 2 swift seconds. As soon as he did turn it on, you could feel a large boost in power. Every Saiyan stopping what they're doing and looking in that direction. As for 1 second, you do see a silver glare in Midoriya's eyes. And then Midoriya, he does 1 swift movement, walking past the man as if nothing happened. Before, as soon as Midoriya does walk out of the ring, they declare him to be out. Everyone, with their eyes on Midoriya, hearing a sound, turning back to the man. The man, he is unconscious. As soon as they do rush him and try and inspect his injuries, it's basically like he got hit with 1,000 punches at once. Wait, that makes no sense. Wait, so the kid took him down. That increase in strength. Wait, you're saying that he hit him so fast we couldn't even see it? That boy's insane. Now, while all these Saiyans do get their friend put into a recovery pod, you do have the princess, who actually does pull Midoriya aside. As soon as she did, grab Midoriya by his wrist, and try and talk to him, Midoriya immediately turned and almost brought up his hand to attack. As soon as he did realize who it was, he apologized, and did actually take a few steps backwards. Sorry, that's not really what I wanted to do. Okay. But what are you? I'm human. Are you sure? You're not a Saiyan? Yeah, why? Well, you shouldn't be on our planet. Okay. But I just don't understand. Besides, I don't understand why my dad fears you so much. Other than that display just now. But I am truly sorry for what we did to your planet. Her bowing, and Midoriya bringing his hands up. It's quite okay. But I did have a few questions. She says, bring her body back up. Okay, and what exactly were they? Well, first off, what's your name? My name? Don't you mean my title? No. You're a princess. We have those on Earth too. Huh? Really? That's actually kind of cool. Huh. Okay. So, well, my name's Momo. Izuku. Midoriya says, bringing his hand outwards and shaking her own. Now, Midoriya does spend some time going around the planet and beginning to at least learn a bit more about the Saiyans. Before night does fall, and Midoriya still cannot find Vados. Before arriving back at the palace, and the king does offer Midoriya a room. Midoriya taking it. Now, with that being said, I do believe that that would be a good point to leave this off of. And I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. I will catch you guys in the next part.